Hey, Mompreneurs, if you are feeling drained, overwhelmed, or like you're hustling nonstop without seeing the results you want, friend, I've got something just for you. I'm hosting a free virtual workshop where I'm going to show you how to protect your greatest asset, which is you. This is my absolute favorite topic to teach on, and this workshop has changed lives. So, we're going to talk about breaking through burnout, creating healthy habits that stick, and aligning your actions with what really matters so you can thrive in your business and in your life. This is not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about simplifying, refocusing, and pouring back into yourself so you can show up fully for your business and your family. So if you're ready to feel energized, clear-headed, and in control again, you don't want to miss this. So I want you to head on over to martinewilliams.com/October workshop and sign up now. It's free. We'll have the link in the show notes, and I will see you there. Welcome to Remix Moments with Martine, where we will remix your mindset one moment at a time. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I'm here to bring you a quick burst of inspiration, insight, and a fresh spin on your mompreneur journey. In just a few minutes, we'll remix your mindset, energize your day, and keep you moving forward with purpose. Let's dive in to today's moment. Hey, mompreneurs. Welcome back to Remix Moments with Martine, your go-to podcast episode for remixing your mindset one moment at a time. In today's moment, we're going to talk about something that hits close to home for a lot of us, and it's come up all week with my one-on-one clients. And so anytime there's a common theme or something that just keeps coming up with my coaching clients, I want to bring it to you here on the podcast as well. And you're going to be very familiar with this word. And I want you to think about when I say this word, what comes up for you, what emotion comes up for you, what thoughts come up for you about you. Like, just pay attention to what you're thinking about when I say this word. And the word is procrastination. If you've ever found yourself staring at your to-do list, feeling like there's too much to tackle, or if you keep putting off that one thing you know you need to do, then this episode is for you. So let's dive in to the 3 reasons you might be procrastinating, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So reason number 1 is overwhelm. So let's start with this first, and probably the most common reason is overwhelm. As a mompreneur, you get it. You're juggling so much. I get it. You're juggling your business, your family, your household stuff, and then there's you. It's like you're trying to balance everything on a tray. You know how I feel about the word balance, but that's for another episode. And eventually it just feels like too much, right? It's just too much. Can you relate to that? And you just want to put it down. So here's what happens. When there's too much on your plate, your brain can't decide where to start. And what we do when we can't figure out the starting point, like what is it that we do when we can't figure out what the starting point is? Well, we stall, right? We procrastinate because everything feels equally important and we end up doing nothing. So here's the solution. We got to break it down, y'all. When you're facing overwhelm, take a deep breath. Break your tasks into smaller, bite-sized steps. You don't need to tackle the whole mountain today, okay? Especially all my overachievers out there. Just focus on the next hill. One strategy that I love is the next best step approach. Ask yourself, what's the next small, doable thing I can handle right now? And do that. I just did this with one of my one-on-one clients. It just felt so big and so overwhelming. She's wanting to pursue a different business or a different career. And there's a lot of unknowns, and it just seemed so big. And I'm helping her bring it down to what is the next best step for you to take. We're not trying to build Rome in a day, right? What's the next best small step that you can do right now? Another great tip is time blocking. Like, set aside specific blocks of time where you focus on just one task. No multitasking, no distractions. And when you give yourself permission to only focus on one thing at a time, it reduces the overwhelm and helps you to move forward with purpose. I know this seems so simple, but that's the key to it. How simple can you make it? Because when you're in a state of overwhelm, everything feels like it's a priority. And so you just shut down, right? And you procrastinate and you put it off. Reason number 2, and this has been really interesting also coming up this week with my clients, is the fear of imperfection. I know this one very, very well. How many times have I delayed something because you weren't sure it was going to be perfect? You want your work to be great, right? Like I hold myself to such a high standard and I want all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted, which don't get me wrong, can be a good thing, but it can also keep you stuck. And so here's what I've learned. Perfection is the enemy of progress. If you wait for everything to be perfect before you start or before you release something into the world, you'll be waiting forever. And you know what? 80% done is better than 100% perfect, but never finished. So here's what you can do. I want you to adopt a progress over perfection mindset. And I talk about this a lot with my clients. We actually create a POP plan. If you're on my email list, you've got the email that talks about this, but remind yourself that done is better than perfect. Every step forward counts, even if it's not flawless. I just offered up that thought to one of my clients this week that done is better than perfect. Set an 80% rule. When a task is 80% done, give yourself permission to move on. If it's good enough to meet the needs of your audience or your business, you're right on track. And here's the thing. You can always improve something later. You've seen me in this podcast. If you've been around in my world for the last 5 years, you've seen my brand evolve. You've seen my business change. You've seen me improve, hopefully, over the last several years. But you can't improve something that hasn't even been started, right? You can't know how far off the target you are until you get started. And so perfection is the enemy of progress. And here's the other thing when it comes to the fear of imperfection that came up a lot this week. And I want you to be thinking about this. This is going to be a deep thought. I don't know if you remember Saturday Night Live, but Deep Thoughts by Jack Candy. This is a deep thought. And I want you to think about it. How is procrastinating protecting you? What is putting off that thing? How is that protecting you? Putting off making that phone call, putting off making that social media post, putting off taking the before pic as you start a health journey, which was something that one of my clients was really, really struggling with. And she was trying to make it perfect. She wanted to have the right lighting and the right outfit and all like where in the house she was going to take the photo. And all of the time and energy spent thinking about doing the thing versus doing the thing was exhausting her. And it came down to she was protecting herself because she didn't actually want to see the photo, the before photo, right? So I want you to think about, how is procrastinating protecting you or helping you avoid something? You're avoiding feeling something. You're avoiding feeling frustration. Maybe you're avoiding feeling disappointed. Maybe you're avoiding feeling fear of other people's approval. And so you're just putting it off. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not putting your message out into the world. What is procrastinating and how is procrastinating protecting you? Think on that. All right. Reason number 3, you might be procrastinating because of lack of clarity. This one's sneaky because sometimes it feels like we're working hard, but in reality, we're just spinning our wheels. If you don't have a clear vision of what you're doing or why it matters, it's easy to get stuck. I've been there where you're staring at a task or a project and thinking, where do I even begin? This is a sign that you need to step back and get clear on your goals. So here's what you can do. Get crystal clear on what your goals are, not just the big thing, long-term ones, but your daily, weekly goals. When you are clear on your priorities, it becomes easier to know what to focus on. You can also check in with yourself, like ask, why does this task matter? How does it connect to my bigger vision? When you understand why something is important, it gives you the motivation to take action. Another thing that works really, really well, and I do a lot of this with my clients or suggest this, is brain dumping. If your mind is cluttered and you're unsure of what to focus on, do a brain dump. I'm telling you, write down everything that's on your mind, no matter how random, how big or small, related to your business or not related to you, but just get it all out of your head And then you can organize and prioritize from there. All right, mama, there you have it. The 3 biggest reasons that you might be procrastinating: overwhelm, fear of imperfection, and lack of clarity. And most importantly, how to overcome each one. Remember, procrastination isn't a failure. It's often a signal that something needs your attention. So what's your next best step? Maybe it's breaking it down, that big project, into smaller tasks. Maybe it's letting go of the perfection. Maybe it's getting okay with feeling an uncomfortable emotion. And so you're not going to use procrastination to protect yourself anymore. Maybe it's giving yourself grace to move forward with 80% done. Done is better than perfect. Or maybe it's taking some time to get clear on your goals and how today's actions will move you closer to them. Whatever it is, take that next step today. We all have a next step, and we all have 100% responsibility for that next step. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Send me a DM or send me an email, or also share this episode with someone. Leave a review also for the show. That is the biggest compliment to me. I love hearing how you're taking action. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the show so you never miss one of these episodes. And until next time, I want you to keep showing up, keep making progress, and remember, you've got this, and I'm believing in you always. Well, that's it, friends, for this remix moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and I hope that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, even small moments can lead to big changes. If this moment made a difference, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow moms, and leave me a quick review. Seriously, it means the world to me to hear from you. And until next time, I am believing in you, and I will catch you in the next moment.